This is your Danish English special report on the hidden weight of stigma. In this special report, we will look at living with weight, stigma, and recovery. Welcome to this special report by Danish-InfoNews TV, where we take an in-depth look at the life of Nadja, a woman who has faced obesity, binge eating disorder, and the heavy weight of societal stigma. Through her personal story, we explore the challenges of living with BED, the impact of weight stigma in Denmark and around the world, and the journey toward recovery and self-acceptance. Stay with us as we uncover realities behind the headlines and the human stories often left untold. Nadja, a 32-year-old Danish woman, has spent most of her life battling obesity and binge eating disorder, navigating the relentless pressures of societal stigma both before and after weight loss. Her story is one of resilience, struggle, and the complex social realities that accompany changes in body size, childhood, and early struggles. From the age of 8, Nadja's life was marked by food scarcity at home and depressed mother and sexual abuse in her father's household. Food became her refuge, a way to calm fear and anxiety. Over time, the emotional reliance on food led to overweight, and with it came the stigma of obesity. At school, Nadja's early puberty and heavier build drew negative attention. Teachers and peers labeled her as lazy or clumsy, excluding her from normal social and sports activities. Social isolation. Friends and classmates reinforced the stereotype of the fat girl, leaving Nadja to cope alone. Internalized stigma. Constant judgment and teasing led Nadja to believe that her weight defined her worth. A classic example of self-stigmatization. Research shows that Danish children and adults with overweight face discrimination in schools, workplace, and healthcare. Echoing international findings from the United States, the UK, and Canada. The stigma often manifests as social exclusion, biased assumptions about intelligence or discipline, and negative treatment in healthcare settings. Adolescence and the onset of BED. By her teenage years, Nadja was already using food to manage stress and trauma. She became the thick girl who struggled to make friends and was often singled out for extra help or sent to specialized programs. Despite numerous attempts to lose weight through diets and exercise, she consistently regained it. At 32, psychologist Lena Meyer diagnosed Nadja with binge eating disorder, a condition characterized by consuming large amounts of food in secret, feeling out of control while eating, persistent preoccupation with food and weight, emotional distress tied to eating behaviors. BED affects tens of thousands in Denmark and worldwide. Recognition of the disorder helped Nadja understand that her struggle were medical and psychological, not moral failures. Adulthood. Living with stigma. Before treatment, Nadja's life was dominated by shame and judgment. Healthcare experiences. Complaints about non-weight related health issues were often dismissed or reframed as just lose weight. Social judgment. Family and friends sometimes reinforced stigma, unknowingly pressuring her with comments about discipline and self-control. Internalization. Nadja blamed herself, believing she lacked willpower or worth, demonstrating the psychological impact of pervasive stigma. International studies confirm that weight stigma leads to increased anxiety, depression, and avoidance of health care, affecting both mental and physical health outcomes. Recovery and the complex reality of post-weight loss life. Through therapy, self-reflection, and gradual lifestyle changes, Nadja began regaining control over her eating and her life. As she lost weight, she encountered a new form of social attention, a phenomenon seen worldwide. Positive attention. Friends, family, and strangers complimented her appearance and included her more in social activities. Conditional acceptance. Some friends questioned her motivations, expressed jealousy, or assumed her identity had changed. International parallels. Research on skinny privilege shows that thinner bodies receive preferential treatment in public work and healthcare. But this can also bring scrutiny and pressure to maintain appearance. Despite the improvement in health and mobility, Nadja reflects, "People treat me better now, but it hurts to think that my worth was invisible before." The stigma hasn't disappeared, it has just shifted. Understanding weight stigma and bed. Weight stigma is not unique to Denmark. It is a global issue affecting millions. International research shows children and adults face discrimination in schools, workplaces, healthcare, and public spaces. Internalized stigma increases vulnerability to depression, anxiety, and further disordered eating. Bed amplifies stigma as secretive eating and perceived lack of control lead to additional shame. Binge eating disorder itself is increasingly recognized worldwide as the most common eating disorder, characterized by repeated episodes of eating large quantities of food with a sense of loss of control. Bed affects people across weight categories, though many individuals struggle with bed also face overweight or obesity. Combating weight stigma. Lessons from Denmark and the world. Nadja's experience highlights how deeply weight stigma can affect a person's life, but research and international guidelines also provide strategies for reducing its impact. First, change the narrative around weight. Recognize that overweight is a multifactorial, not just a result of personal choices. Use people-first language, like person with overweight. Second, promote awareness in schools and workplaces. Educate children about body diversity. Ensure workplaces prevent weight-based discrimination in hiring and promotions. Third, healthcare sensitivity. Focus on overall health rather than weight alone. Support bed and other disorders without judgment using therapy and counseling. Fourth, positive media representation. Include diverse body types in films, TV, and advertising. Portray overweight individuals as multifaceted and capable, not stereotypes. Fifth, individual strategies. Therapy, support groups, and self-reflection help process internalized and external stigma. Post-weight loss attention may include jealousy or pressure. Self-compassion is key. Sixth, societal advocacy. International bodies like WHO, ESO, and World Obesity Federation emphasize education, policy change, and public awareness. Highlight that weight stigma harms mental and physical health and is not an effective motivator for lasting behavior change. Moving forward, for Nadja, combating stigma is ongoing. While therapy and weight loss improved her health and mobility, she continues to navigate societal judgments. Her experience showed that fighting weight stigma requires action at both personal and systemic levels. Respect, empathy, and understanding are not just ideals, they are essential for anyone living with obesity or bed. We need to change how society treats people of all sizes, before and after weight loss. Nadja's story demonstrates the complex interplay between personal experience, societal stigma, and health, offering lessons for individuals and communities worldwide. Thank you for joining us for this special report on Nadja Ingsi's journey and the wider issue of weight stigma. To continue supporting in-depth journalism and to follow stories like Nadja's, make sure to subscribe to Danish-InfoNews TV. Your subscription helps us bring more human stories to light, explore global perspectives, and shed awareness on the issues that matter most. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.